morning. Welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11 and want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you from me and the folks here at It's 38. We've got an action-packed show lined up for you today. We're going to talk to J.C. Battle and Todd Sledge from the Veterans Hospital about the Welcome Home celebration that's coming up. We're going to talk to Holly Molony from the Coalition for a Drug-Free Cincinnati. Some great results from that organization. And we're going to talk to Karen Maier from Frisch's about Community Day coming up May 17th. So we've got a great show lined up for you. And last night, somehow I was talked into getting into this Dancing for the Stars. It was all for the Arts Association, a fundraiser to raise money for scholarship for children who wanted to get into the arts as they move through high school and college. And so they said, we're going to have a Dancing for the Stars contest, and we'll give each, we're going to find some personalities, give them professional dancers to train them, and then we'll have a big contest. Well, that took place last night at Music Hall, and it was unbelievable. I had a great time. We'll show you some of the clips, some of the people who participated in the Dancing for the Stars. I think the first segment here is, these are professional dancers. And I'll let you know when we get to the amateurs in a minute. These guys are professionals here. Just some of the dancers who danced last night. We'll give you a little clip of that. And there's Sophie and Jason. Sophie was my professional dance instructor. You'll see us a little bit later on when we show that. Look at that move. Unbelievable. These were some of the professionals that actually helped to train some of the amateurs like me and Roxanne Qualls, Sheriff Simon Lees. Janelle Walton was in this. These are professionals, see. Now this is Roxanne Qualls. These are the amateurs. As you can tell, Roxanne is the amateur. The guy dancing is the professional. This is Pam Myers, a Tony. I guess she was nominated for a Tony Award. She does it pretty good. This is Janelle Walton right here. She ended up being the winner, which I didn't know about that, but she fell down and the judges actually gave her a 10. How can you get a 10 if you fall down? Here's Simon Lees, Sheriff Simon Lees. How about that? And the sheriffs are hauling him in, handcuffed him because he was impersonating a dancer. And there you can see me. This is just a little, now we're going to show you my entire routine that was my routine that I did with Sophie. And I thought I should have won first place, but here you go. A little Jackie Wilson. Not bad for an amateur. I had to learn this stuff in just a few lessons. And we're coming up on the hardest part of the whole dance routine. Now watch this in a few minutes here, a few seconds. I'll show you the hardest part of the whole routine. Here we go, watch this. I don't know what I would have done without my instructor there, my professional partner, Sophie Cadet. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it was for a worthy cause, and I enjoyed myself. Janelle Walton from another TV station ended up being the winner. We'll say Channel 9, we might as well. She gave me some play on her show. So yeah, Janelle Walton ended up being the winner, and it was for a great cause. I enjoyed myself, but I'm still wondering, if you fall down, how can the judge give you a perfect score? unbelievable. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll come back to tell you about if you're a Vietnam veteran or if you're an Iraqi war veteran, you need to listen to the next segment of this show coming up. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk to J.C. Battle and Todd Sledge in just a minute. Back in a few. And we are back live, Lincoln Ware Live is the program on this Mother's Day. And in the studio with me, we've got J.C. Battle and Todd Sledge, and a big welcome home celebration coming up. And we'll tell you a little bit about that. J.C., let's start with you. How did you become involved with the welcome home celebration? And first of all, when is the welcome home celebration taking place?
It's going to be May 17th, next Saturday, at Lincoln Airport Field from 4 to 8 p.m. I came involved with it because Todd Sledge and I go back about 8 to 10 years, and there was a program that I was informed about from Todd about the Welcome Home celebration for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he can tell you a little bit more about the event because he's one of the premier guys that put this on. Uh-huh. And I would like for him to take the lead on that story. Now,
this is for Vietnam veterans and veterans of the Gulf War and, you know, the current war, Iraq War, or what?
That's correct, Lincoln. We set out with this, with the idea of having this event for all the veterans in our local tri-state who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. Well, with the tremendous efforts with the business community and just from people that I've met over the years in my position, we're able to open this Welcome Home celebration for all veterans, which is fantastic because we wanted to have it for not just the current returning veterans, but like as you said, Vietnam veterans, Korean War, family members who currently have deployed soldiers, and specifically for those families who have lost loved ones over the last few years. Absolutely.
And what all is going to take place?
Well, we've got a full agenda. The one popular thing to know is everything's free, which is best. But JTM Food Group is providing all of our food, along with Grippo's Potato Chips, United Dairy Farmers, Pepsi, Coke. We have 2 aerial shows planned where 2 skydivers will begin our program by hosting a 4,700 square foot American flag. We have local entertainment, both from the Daniel Smith Band, Bill White from B105, and then the Dan Varner Band, as well as Anthony Munoz. So there's a lot of folks know in Cincinnati, Pro Football Hall of Fame. Anthony will be our master of ceremonies. And probably the most important thing is we have a lot of things for the kids. Face painting and jugglers, everything you can imagine we're going to have during that day.
All right, and I mean, this is great because a lot of times veterans are overlooked when they come back home. Of course, if you follow the news, you've seen some of the conditions that they're living in when they come back. And so it's great that somebody is taking the time to do something for the veterans. And now, if a Vietnam veteran is watching the program, what should they do? Should they just show up there, or how do they get involved? Should they contact you beforehand, or what?
Well, it's good they can go to the website, CincinnatiWelcomeHome.com, and they can pre-register on that site, or call the Cincinnati VA Hospital at that number. What is that, 475?
475-6921.
Now, is this a one-time deal? Are you going to do this every year, or are you going to wait and see what happens this year? Or?
We want to do it every year. This year has superseded all the expectations that we had prepared to do, but this is the inaugural event, and we do a plan to do it every year. We do have more businesses who found out about the event later who will be getting involved with us, so we do want to make it something that's every year, because as you said, you know, a lot of our veterans celebrations, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, is more turned into a shopping day instead of a celebration. So we really would like to do this every year.
Every year. Well, that's good because, like I say, I don't think Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, and they're facing especially the Vietnam era veterans are facing so many problems. You know, problems with drugs, homelessness, and things like that. So for someone to put on a celebration for them is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Particularly the Vietnam vets like myself and my brother Linwood and DeWitt. We didn't get welcome home, I'm sure, like yourself. Then this is a top time for them to come out, heal some of the wounds, and let's get together and show our love for each other and come together.
Now, have you heard from any veterans so far?
Oh, sure.
And what are they saying? Are they?
They're going to be there. They said that is great. They can't wait to come out and meet some of the other veterans from the war, from Cam Ranh Bay, from Quinh Nhan, from Pleiku, from Da Nang. And I was just really excited to hear that, because a lot of times the veterans only see each other at the VA hospitals when they're trying to get treatment. But for me particular, I was in the grave registration or memorial activities. And when I came back, my brothers and I all vowed that we would do a special military salute for all veterans who came through our funeral home facility. We're going to have a special military salute for all those fallen veterans to start the show, and the celebration rather. And with that, there's going to be a video-based presentation of a military salute with those names of over 40 people in this area who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. With that, we will release a dove for each fallen veteran as a dove release in cooperation with Greg West and his dove release program.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll give you more detailed information on exactly when, where, what, and why this is going to take place next Saturday. We'll take a quick break, and we'll return to Lincoln Ware Live right here on It's 38, back in a moment. And we are back live, Lincoln Ware with you. We've got JC Battle, Todd, Sledge with us, and the big welcome home celebration coming up. That's going to happen on this coming Saturday, May 17th from 4 to 8, Lincoln Airport. And can you register for this online if you're a veteran, or?
Yes, you can. You can go to www.cincinnatiwelcomehome.com, and there's a full registration page. Tells you about the event, when to show up, all the prize giveaways, everything you need to know is on that website.
Okay. Now, will there be any sort of vendors there or VA people there to help veterans if they're looking for some type of service or anything like that?
Yes, we will have, it's not your typical type of VA or community event where there's a lot of vendors, but there will be one VA booth where any veteran from any era can find out their health and benefits information.
Okay, good.
And there'll be experts there to answer all questions that they have, and then we can capture that information and bring it back to them so they know what they need.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's the type of information a lot of these guys can't find out, and they just, if they're there, the information is right there for them. They can get in the system and get some help that they need.
Absolutely.
All right, this is a great event. Hopefully it goes on from year to year, and you guys keep this up. Yeah. And you'll be on my radio show tomorrow at 1:30. So any veterans out there want to call in tomorrow and check them out, feel free to do so. All right, I want to thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Lincoln.
All right, JC Battle, Todd Sledge. Don't forget the big welcome home celebration, Saturday, May 17th, this coming Saturday, Lincoln Airport from 4 to 8. If you're a veteran, you don't want to miss it. Korean War, Vietnam War, the Gulf War, the Iraq War. They welcome all veterans to show up.
That's right.
All right, thank you for joining me this morning. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk to Holly Molony, the Coalition for a Drug-Free Cincinnati, to find out how that organization is doing and how are our teens doing when it comes to drugs. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. My guest now, Holly Molony from the Coalition for Drug-Free Cincinnati. And the results are in. Teenagers are using fewer drugs now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, if you really look at the numbers, you flip them on their head, you'll notice that most kids aren't using, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing, because for a while there, alcohol use, marijuana, and those were skyrocketing.
Absolutely.
What do you think, what's the reason for the downturn?
Well, we've been working very hard at the coalition, certainly, and within the coalition's family, there's a network of 30 local coalitions, and they work hard with their individual neighborhoods and the people in the individual neighborhoods to prevent youth substance abuse.
All right, if you've got questions about drug use and teenagers, give us a call at 513-381-3838 or 513-651-3838. What about you see a lot of commercials about prescription drugs, parents leaving their prescription drugs around, and children, teenagers using those prescription drugs to get high. What about that? How are those numbers looking?
Well, in fact, those numbers are still around the same as the illicit drug use numbers, which are anywhere from 1% to 4% of kids are reporting use. The top 3 substances in Greater Cincinnati are alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana still.
Alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana are the top 3.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I mean, you see a lot of quit smoking as far as tobacco goes. Our kids, they're not smoking as much as they used to.
No,
Huh?
that's actually been reduced a great deal over the past 8 years.
Do you think a lot of the anti-smoking commercials have been part of that?
Yep, there has been a change, if you think about it, a change in the way the community looks at smoking, which is what we're trying to do with alcohol and marijuana as well.
Now, what about this drug ecstasy? You hear a lot about that. Is that on the increase, or?
Not within the population that we're looking at. We're looking at 7th through 12th graders. I can't speak to the numbers for anyone older, but it does not show up as for 7th through 12th graders as a large number of kids that are using.
Now, what do you guys do? You go into schools. How do you reach the teenagers? What do? Do you run commercials, or?
We do several things. The Coalition for Drug-Free Greater Cincinnati was founded on the idea that the entire community is responsible for substance abuse prevention. And the idea is that we want to change the community's attitudes. So we have lots of partners who work with us who go into schools individually, and they'll work with kids individually. We tend to look at kind of community level, systems level thought, where we work with the media. We work with the Partnership for Drug-Free America. We run with them. A lot of the stations in town here run the anti-drug ads. You referenced the prescription over-the-counter ads.
Right.
That's part of what we do. We also work directly with local communities and helping them plan how to use their resources to address the substance abuse issues that are in their neighborhood. One of the things, ways that we know what's going on in their neighborhood is that we do conduct this survey every other year. And the results just came out for 2008. We've done it 5 times in the Greater Cincinnati area.
Now, are these, when you conduct your survey, are they telling the truth on those surveys? You know, if a teen is smoking marijuana, is he going to say, yes, I smoke?
It's an anonymous survey, so there's no way for me to know who said what when. But there are also, we actually use a nationally known company that's designed the survey. These are experts in the field. This way the survey is designed is that we actually have 1% to 2% of surveys that are tossed out simply because there are too many inconsistencies. There's little lie detectors in there. And then there is research that shows that some kids will lie. But over the past 10 years, you would not see the same trends. We can benchmark against national and state trends, and we follow those trends as a community. So the lying, sure, that could happen, but you're still, you have really good, solid, this is a valid, reliable instrument.
Now, what if a parent suspects their teen of using drugs? Can they come to you guys and you direct them to what they should do or where they could go?
We do offer one education piece we have is called the Parent's Guide to Talking with Your Kids About Drugs. And that's on our website, which is drugfreecincinnati.org. And you can find that there. I would advise if you really want to talk to somebody about it, one of the things you can start with is the Recovery Health Access Center here in Hamilton County. They're at 281-7422, and you can talk to counselors, and they'll kind of direct you in the right way to go. The coalition operates on the prevention side of the fence. So once you're getting into, I think my kid might have a problem, you need to talk to a counselor who's been trained in that area.
Okay. All right, let's go to the telephones. 513-381-3838, 651-3838, if you want to jump on board. Let's go to JD. JD, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good.
All right. I wanted to ask you a question. See, I'm in the Lower Price Hill area, and it's always a lot of drug activity going down.
Well, so drug activity, you mean among teenagers or?
Yeah.
Well, the Lower Price Hill area actually has a really active local coalition. And if you go to drugfreecincinnati.org, you can find out how to get involved with them and some of the work they're doing. I know they work very closely with the schools in that area, and they have a lot of activities that they do on the weekends. It's not something that we can change overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it also takes everyone's effort.
All right. Hey,
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to Daniel. Daniel, good morning. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, lady?
Pretty good.
Hey, I just want to know what them ladies getting us statistics. It can't be nationwide. It can't be city, local, or nothing like that, because for the simple reason is, you know, when you come from a certain culture or you come from inner city, my understanding is you can't be judging this on a national statistic. You can't be. Is you eyes blind or something like that? Because, hey,
Turn your TV down. You got to turn your TV down.
all right.
Okay, finish what you were saying.
I'm trying to figure out, you know, I guess she's doing a job because she's probably not out in the field trying to look at, you know, to see what's really going on. Because, you know, you always have these people like certain doctors or certain things like that that say, okay, your child needs to be disciplined like that. Usually they don't have kids. So you get where I'm going at?
Not really, because
In other words, you know, you have to know, not just being blindsided, you have to be or done seen or done it yourself, you know, or you know, you don't either had family members or something like that, or friends you've been knowing, and their kids done been jeopardized to certain things or done seen things or something like that. When you sitting up there saying that it's not, you know, it's not widespread, it's not going up, that's a bunch of bull.
okay, thanks for your call. Can you make anything out of what he was saying?
Well, I think he was thinking we're judging it on a national statistic,
Yeah.
and this is actually local data, which is the reason we gather local data is because I'd like to know, the coalition needs to know what's going on in each neighborhood, and that's the purpose of it. We want to know. A majority of the kids aren't using, but yeah, there's a group of kids that are, and they are facing some serious consequences when they do use. And that's the reason that we focus time and resources and energy on preventing kids from using.
All right, let's go to Mary. Mary, good morning.
Good morning. How are you both?
Doing
Very
great.
good.
Good. I wanted to ask her about spirituality. Do you have that in the program to alter their time from the drugs to get to church?
I'm sorry, I
Do
didn't
you ever
catch
refer them to maybe seeing their pastor or some help in the church or?
We don't necessarily refer individuals, but we do know, I'll share this with you, we do know that attending church is a really strong protective factor. In fact, when we look at kids who report that they attend church or synagogue or mosque,
They normally don't use drugs.
well, they are 64% less likely to use. So it's a really important factor to have in a kid's life. So it's important. Just like parents talking, that's just as important as well.
Well, I wanted to say that to Lincoln,
Yeah.
you were stepping good in your dancing for old man. You take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for your call. Unbelievable. All right, let's go to Lisa. Lisa, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
Fine. I was just wondering, are these surveys based on, like, the things that you get in school? Because I can remember back in the 7th grade and stuff when it was a rumor that they always knew what was going on these surveys. Like, they knew who put what, so always lie.
Well, you
Like,
know, you always get
yeah,
that.
all through 12th grade.
There's always those people in the conspiracy.
I mean, no, but our whole class would just lie.
They
And
have,
would
right, that's
all
what
be
I'm
getting
thinking.
high.
You know, the rumors get around, they
Everybody.
have a little mark on the paper. They can tell who did what, you know.
You
I
know,
was just,
Do you hear that a lot?
no, well, sure, there's concern that if I report that, and what's interesting is adults apparently, there's research on surveys in general, and adults apparently have more worries about that than kids do.
Really?
But the school does not, when we survey kids, the school is the one that surveys them. They get put in an envelope and shipped off, and there's no identifying mark on it. There's no way to tell who said what. I'm sure that makes people still a little bit nervous,
Right,
but there
but
literally
kids,
is.
I'm just saying, when we were in school, we knew all of that. I mean, it was people that be like, no, that's not true. They don't know, but we still would just be like, lie anyway. They're going to do this. They're going to start drug testing everybody. Just lie
Yeah.
anyway. Like,
Well, and
I mean,
you know
that
what,
was
we
just
have.
how they did.
So you
like,
saying you lied on your survey?
everybody did. We would go to recess and all talk about how we lied. Like, what did you put? Yeah, we put this. I mean, it was like a big joke.
I'm ashamed of you, Lisa, for lying
I
like
mean,
that.
but we were kids. That's what we did, and I can honestly say that it's still happening.
Yeah. All right, Lisa, thanks for your call.
Uh-huh.
All right, Lisa said kids are still lying on the survey. Unbelievable. Sean, how are you?
Question. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. What's up?
Question. I got 2 children that I think that's smoking weed, getting high. Now I need help. I'm custody. I got legal custody of my children now. My 2 girls. They got all the signs. They eat a lot. They sleep a lot. They, smell like weed in the house. So I need to do I need to take them to the juvenile facility, have them drug tested, and I just need something because I don't know what to do. I know they're smoking. They call it chronic. I mean, not chronic. This new word that they're calling it, but it's weed.
What's the new word they call? I don't know.
You know what? Whatever they call it, it still comes out the same in the end.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think you need to take drastic measures of taking them down to 2020. But what should he do? I mean,
Well, are you in Hamilton County?
Yes, I'm in Hamilton County.
Yeah. Try calling. It's called the RAC line, the Recovery Health Access Center, and it's at 281-7422. And when you call there, you'll have trained counselors on the other end of the line, and they will kind of walk you through some of the steps that you can take. And they have dealt with everything over the past, I'm sure, decade. So they will direct you in the right place to go.
So will they drug test them, and I'll know?
No, they don't drug test, but they'll tell you some things that you can start with.
Okay.
now
Can
tell me
direct-
this. You say they smell like marijuana when they come home?
Yeah, I just don't
And what
have.
do you ask them? Have they been smoking?
But they call it something else. They call it but it's weed. It's marijuana. It's something illegal that they're doing. I know it is.
Well, and in the end, if you're their parents, so if you're unhappy with the way things are going, you certainly have the absolute right to explain that to them.
But I would need to know if I can get a drug testing, and then the gig will be up, and I'll know what's going on and what I need to do from there.
Well, can he take them to their family doctor and
You can,
have them
take them
tested?
to the physician, or you can also talk to the school counselors as well.
Okay, I need to talk to the. Okay.
Try starting with the school, or try with the Recovery Health Access Center as well.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your call.
Good luck.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Veronica, Walter, and others. And if you want to jump on board, 513-381-3838 or 513-651-3838. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is a program. In the studio with me now, Holly Molony. But coming up, we'll talk about the Frisch's Big Boy Community Day with Karen Maier. And that's happening this coming week, and we'll talk to you a little bit about that. But right now, we've got phone calls to get to, 513-381-3838. Holly Molony is from the Coalition for Drug-Free Cincinnati. And we're talking about teenagers and drug use. Veronica, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Good.
I have a 15-year-old, and she's in a predominantly white school, and she is giving me problems, and she gets mad, but she honestly talks to me openly. You know, we have our ups and downs, but kids do lie about smoking and drinking, and because she comes home and she tells me, well, all my friends, they drink and smoke, and their parents let them do what they want to do, but you don't let me do this, you don't let me do that. So it's in every neighborhood, wherever you are, it's still out there. So, and kids are lying because they have a couple kids at our school, Anderson, that were selling and taking drugs, and you can get them drug tested. You can get a piece of their hair. You can watch them. I'm in her bedroom. I look through her book bag, her purse, her room. So if they get mad because you're looking through their stuff, then evidently they doing something they don't want you to know.
And
it's
you know
your
what?
house, and you can check them and watch your kids, and I monitor mine. And she get mad, she get upset, but you know what? She'll thank me for it in the end because I thank my mother for it in the end.
Well, you know, the new trend now is after prom, the schools have the after prom parties at their school, and they give them a breathalyzer. They pick kids at random, give them a breathalyzer as they're coming into the after party to make sure they haven't been drinking before they got. So I got a letter in the mail that it says your daughter has successfully passed the breathalyzer at the after prom. I guess, you know, so they're telling me that they randomly picked her and they tested her and she passed. So I'm glad that it passed. But, you know, and I guess a lot of schools are doing this now.
And plus, you have to have a teenager that is not a follower in some aspects. She's a little meaner. She has her issues, but they have to have their own mind too. And I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, and to this day I don't drink, I don't smoke. But if they got their own mind and they want to be successful, they won't do it.
All right. Hey, thanks for your call.
You're welcome.
All right, 513-381-3838. Walter, good morning. How are you?
All right, how are you?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Well, I was in Norwood at Surrey Square. You know where that is?
Yes.
Guy come up to me and he said he wanted to, there was two of them. There's probably about maybe 17, 18. They wanted to sell me something. He says, you want to buy a dog? And I had little Lincoln with me. And
that's your pit bull.
Yeah, little Lincoln.
Did you really name that dog Lincoln? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay.
And yeah, I seriously did.
Okay.
So anyway, I had a little Lincoln with me, and they're sitting there. You want to buy a dog? And I said, well, I got a dog here. And I didn't even know what they was talking about. Some old lady told me they was trying to sell me heroin. But they just kept looking at me weird. Like I said, I got a dog here, you know.
Maybe you look like a user.
Well, I think that what really made them just go off and leave me alone is they looked at little bad Lincoln there, you know.
Yeah,
and I think they really kind of didn't want to mess with me and my black pit bulldog.
All right.
But you know, you got to on this subject, you know, of the drug use. I don't know why we just can't like take all the drug users and put them in one state, you know, and legalize it.
Put them in one state and legalize it.
Yeah.
What kind of, okay, what would the state...
What kind of society would it be?
Right, yeah.
I guess we just put a big fence around it and a barbed wire and let them do their drugs. I don't know.
That's the most ridiculous thing you've ever said since you've been calling this show, Walter.
We could call it New Holland.
Oh, boy. All right, thanks for your call. Unbelievable. Now, but like the drug, schools are doing more and more of this, you know, randomly testing the kids, and then they bring the dogs in and search for drugs. How has that worked with the bringing the dogs into the schools, letting them go through the lockers?
I think it's a very effective policy if it's also part of a larger prevention effort. I think it's wrong to lay substance abuse prevention at the foot of the schools. They absolutely play a role, but the whole community does. And the woman talked about, I do talk to my daughter. It doesn't make her happy. It doesn't make her happy that I know what she's doing and when she's doing it. But that's what parents do. And then the media is responsible for the messages they put out. And by the time you get done, the messages that kids get, whether it's from their parents, it's from their pastor, it's from the other kids at school, it's from the school administrators themselves, whomever, it's the same across the community. So they don't go to school and hear one thing and then get home and hear another thing. The work that the coalition, we work very hard to make sure the message is consistent. And we're still working very hard at that.
All right, let's go to Tommy. Tommy, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, Lincoln?
Pretty good.
Yes, I would like to call to verify the last caller that just called in about the heroin use in the city amongst the children.
Yes.
If they're out there selling it to the adults, it's only a matter of time before it's passed through the children. We really have a serious problem here with the heroin.
Yeah.
And something has to be done to stop it from entering the country.
And, all right, thanks for you. And probably, I guess, the most effective way to use heroin is through needles, and then you get into a whole nother issue.
No, they're snorting that heroin.
They're snorting it too.
Yes,
yeah.
they're snorting it too.
All right.
All righty.
Thanks for your call. So, yeah, that could be a problem.
Heroin is, from what I understand, we have a number of partners who work in the treatment and recovery side of the fence, substance abuse fence, and heroin has, in the recent years, has upticked a little bit among the adult population. We're not seeing it in the survey results for kids quite yet, but he's right. You have to watch all of those emerging trends and then address them as they come up.
What about meth and teenagers?
Not seeing a huge uptick in meth, particularly in within Hamilton County necessarily. I know that it is a problem in some of the outlying, more rural counties in Indiana, Kentucky, and out east in Ohio. But again, we keep an eye. The coalition works hard to keep an eye on those different trends and then to manage those as they come down.
All right, let's go to the phone. Is this a different Sean? Can't be the same one, is it? Okay, Sean, how you doing? Sean.
I'm okay.
Go ahead.
How you doing? Okay, my question is, should we target it more towards the drug prevention and education in the homes? I think it starts at home, where the kids, the youth, is basically being misled by the adults. I mean, shouldn't there be more education towards the prevention starting at home?
Like she was saying, you know, the burden, you shouldn't put that extra burden on the school to do something you should be doing at home. They have enough problems at school trying to get kids to learn. So, yeah, you're right. It should start at home.
And I mean, my parents, like I said, we was raised in church, and I think, you know, we as society, we pick God to the side, and we don't look for Him to help us in a lot of situations as far as drug stuff like that goes. So that's my thing. I think it should be more education at home, especially with younger kids, and teach them no is definitely the way to go.
All right. Hey, Sean, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right, we've got time for a few more phone calls real quick here. Dolores, how are you?
Good morning, Lincoln, and good morning to your guest.
Morning.
Yes. Shouldn't we get to the real issue? Let's face it, drugs are big business.
Yeah, it's big business.
And shouldn't we get to the crust of the problem, the big, rich guys that are flying this drugs into the country and making profit off of it and living big time?
Okay, so
should we start with Indian Hill and other big areas of wealth?
If one of those big rich drug dealers drop a pound of cocaine on your doorstep, are you going to use it?
Well, if it's not here, the kids can't get to it, can they?
But I'm just saying.
I mean, you're fighting a losing battle until you get to the crux of the problem.
Yeah, that's a problem too, but you got to be, you got to make these kids strong enough not to use it. I mean, if they bring it here, if you're not going to use it, you're not going to use it.
Well,
it's supply and demand. If the demand dries up, so will the supply.
Children are children, and they're going to reach for the first thing they can, and that's usually what's out there.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. I mean, that's a philosophy that people, stop bringing the drugs in and they won't use them.
But yeah, there's an economic argument there. Again, it's demand and supply. So if you eliminate the demand, which is coalitions focused on prevention, which eliminates the demand, then the supply won't be coming into the area. Is that easy to do? No. No. Absolutely not.
And I don't care what, somebody will figure out some kind of new drug to get out there and sell. If you stop all the cocaine shipments coming into the United States that you could stop, all the marijuana shipments, somebody would come up with some kind of drug that they could develop and sell.
There's always something. There are people who invent all kinds of things with things you can get right in the grocery store.
Yeah, yeah. Patricia.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes. Hi. How are you this morning?
Pretty good.
Yes. About 35 years ago, the school that my children attended, they had meetings to inform parents and show them what drugs were. Now, I don't even think crack was out then, and what does crack look like, and what does heroin look like, and what are the symptoms to find out if your children are on this?
Mm-hmm. All right, good question.
A great resource for that, there's probably two of them I would say to start with, if you have access to the web, one of the things is the Drug Enforcement Agency. They are by law responsible for tracking all of these different things, and they have different lists and fact sheets on different drugs. The other one is the Partnership for a Drug-Free America has a really great website place for parents to go, and that's one of the things on there is the listing of drugs and what it looks like, and then the next step of, hey, what do I do if I think my kids are using?
All right, do we have time for one more call, or is that it? Okay, thank you for joining me this morning.
Very much.
Is there a phone number parents can call?
513-751-8000.
All right, thank you, Holly, and glad seeing you this morning.
Thank you so much.
Mother-to-be, happy
Yes,
Mother's Day
thank
in
you.
advance. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Karen Maier from Frisch's will talk to us about the Community Day coming up Saturday. Frisch is one of the sponsors of that day. We'll talk about that when we return right here on Lincoln Ware Live. Back in a moment. And we are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program, and of course we're here every Sunday morning. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Karen, I don't know if you're a mother.
I am not, but I'm getting ready to go join mine.
All right, well, happy mother. Tell her happy Mother's Day.
I will. Thank you
All
very
right. Karen Maier from Frisch's, and a big Community Day coming up this coming Saturday, May 17th, from 2 to 5. It's going to happen at the Frisch's right around the corner here.
Up on Reading Road.
On Reading Road. Tell us what's going to take place.
We've got a whole lot of things scheduled for entertainment for young kids. We have balloonists, we have clowns, we have the Reading Police and Fire Department. We also have the Reading drum majors and the cheerleaders. We have the Withrow Band and their group as well. So it's going to be just 3 packed hours of entertainment on Saturday afternoon.
And you're going to have you're going to have the martial arts there too.
Yes.
They're going to be there.
Yes.
And what about food? Is there going to be food?
It's
there?
Frisch's.
Yeah, right. Of course.
It's Frisch's.
Plenty of food, and it sounds like it's going to be. And what time does it take place?
It starts at 2 o'clock and it runs until 5. So you can come to us from 2 to 5 and then head down to Lunkin and do the veterans.
There you go.
That would be a great day.
The Buzz, the radio station I work with, we're having an event the same day. It starts at noon.
It's going to be a busy
and
day.
it'll be over around 2 or 3, so people can just make a circle.
And it's all free.
It's
all free.
All free.
Isn't that great?
Great. Now, whose idea was it to have this Community Day?
Our store manager organized this. She saw that there was an opportunity to help promote the community because we've been here since 1960. We had a different looking building before. We're on a new building there probably within the last 5 years, but she wanted to help promote the community. So this is not about Frisch's doing business. This is about bringing in the police and the fire and the mayor of Reading to come talk to people and to encourage and show them how the community is very important. And these other forms of entertainment, you can only listen to a mayor for so long, and then you've got to have something fun to do.
You got to have some entertainment, and you got to have some food, so they'll have all that there.
Yes, they will.
What do they have for the kids, young kids?
They'll have balloonists, and I'm sure that they will allow them to look and climb on some of the fire equipment that will be there. Big Boy will be there, and he's always very popular. So he'll be looking for all the little ones.
All right. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. If people need more information on this, is there a number they can call?
They can call the Big Boy Restaurant on Reading Road.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's a busy restaurant.
It is.
And it's in a great location. And I stop there. A lot of times I stop there on my way home from here.
Well, we're glad we're on your way. Thank you.
But it's good that you're giving back to the community, doing something to bring the community together, because people need to interact with fire and police and other businesses in the community.
That's right. They need to know, children need to know that the uniformed individuals are not someone to be afraid of. They need to know that they are their friend for a variety of reasons. And so they are happy to work and talk to the kids and tell them about what they do. Again, it's just about promoting the community of Reading.
Right, the community of Reading, and it's a growing community. It looks like it's going to be some type of development taking place around that area.
We understand that, and we certainly hope so. We don't know the details about it yet, so I can't speak to that. But it's something that we believe that as the community grows and prospers, we all do. And as I said, we've been here since 1960. That's almost 50 years.
Right.
Do the math, Karen. Do the math.
It's about 48 years. I mean, well, no, not 50. Close to it. Close to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're right. Frisch's has been a mainstay in this area. You know, even back when you had to drive up and the curb service, you know, you had the little speakers there. You would call your order in, and somebody would bring the order out to your car.
Well, we saw that as a real opportunity, and so when car hops went away for us, we decided that we still wanted to do that. So we took one curb spot and, or I should say 20 curb spots, and made it into one drive-through window so that you could still get your food on the go.
On the go, yeah. And that took the place of the car hop, the drive-through,
Right.
you know. So, but it was always great. I mean, that was the thing back in those days, the car hop, and you put a lot of people to work.
That's right.
Doing
That's
that.
right.
So Frisch's has been in the community a long time. And hopefully you'll be here another, 40, 50 years, and not go away. But it's great that you are doing events like this, bringing it back to the community. Now tell us again, the time and place.
It's from 2 to 5 p.m. this coming Saturday, May 17th, at our store on Reading Road. It's 8008 Reading Road, between Sunnybrook and Galbraith.
Okay, all right. And you're going to have who's going to be there again?
The big boy's going to be there, the mayor of Reading, the police and the fire of Reading, the cheerleaders from Reading High School. We're also going to have Withrow Band and their bugle corps. I think they have a bugle corps, but they're cheerleaders as well. So just lots of fun activities, and there'll be a car club there, and balloonists.
And Withrow has a great band.
Yeah,
I've heard them. I saw them in the opening day parade, and they're good. They're good. So you got.
We're looking forward to having them.
Got a good band.
Thank you.
All right, that's just about going to wrap it up for me. How much time do I have left? I don't know. About a minute left. I want to remind you to check me out Monday through Friday from 10 till 2 on 1230 The Buzz. Monday through Friday, 10 to 2, 1230 The Buzz. If you want to see a rebroadcast of this show tonight, 8 o'clock on Channel 25 WOTH. That's tonight at 8 o'clock, WOTH Channel 25. If you want to call me, leave me a message. My phone number is 513-679-6028. 513-679-6028. Karen Maier, thank you for joining me this morning. And looking forward to this event Saturday, May 17th.
We
I'll
are
have to
too.
stop by and get me some of that good Frisch's food.
We'll be waiting for you.
All right. And don't forget, if you want to look at this show online, just go to WBQC.com, and you can see all of the past shows right there online just for you. We'll see you next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here on It's 38. We'll see you then.